Well, hello, it's Mr. Dale again, and we are in Module 1, Introductions, and today we're going to be talking about salutations. The objective of this video is to introduce common vocabulary for Module 1. We will talk about the verb to be in present tense and its conjugations, and we'll also look at some common salutations to use and remember in our writing. Let's talk about some important vocabulary words that we will use for Module 1. Live is a verb. I live in Quito. Now, if we are asking or want to know where a person was born, we would ask the question, where are you from? This question is asking where a person is born, not where they live at that particular moment. And we'll look at that a little bit later in our salutations. But it's important to remember at this point, live is asking where the person is presently living. Let's move on. Hobby is something you like to do. So an example sentence, my hobby is collecting coins. And people have different hobbies. It could be playing basketball, collecting stamps, or other hobbies. Job is used as a noun. So an example, at my job, I am an accountant. Work is the verb form. So instead of saying my job is, we can also change it to a verb and say I work for an oil company. If we want to know the age of a person, we would ask, my son is 14 years old. And the question would be, how old is your son? And the answer, my son is 14 years old. Our last word is food or comida. An example sentence, my favorite food is pizza. So these are all very common vocabulary words that we will be using in Module 1. So let's practice them and be ready to use them. Moving on, we are now talking about the verb to be. And we're talking about the verb to be in present tense. So we will be conjugating the verb to be in present tense. I am, he is, she is, it is, we are, they are, and you are. Again, we're conjugating these verbs in present tense. Now, in the future, we will be talking about these three subjects, and we call those third person subjects. If you can just remember at this point that he, she, and it are third person subjects, you'll be ready for us when we get to present tense. But for the moment, we are just conjugating the verb to be in present tense. Well, let's look at some common salutations that we use in our speaking. Here's a typical question. Hello, how are you? And a very typical response. I am fine, thank you. Here is another very common question. Where do you live? I live in the valley. And again, we talked about this question, and it is asking a person where they are living at that particular moment. We can also ask where they are from, and then we want to know where they were born or where they came from. Let's look at another common question. How many children do you have? And the answer, I have 2 children. Let's just take a very small moment and talk about child, because child is singular and children is plural. That means we're talking more than one. So in our questions, we will always ask, how many children do you have? Because we don't know if they have one or more than one. So we will use the plural form, children. That will wrap up this part of Module 1, Introductions, Salutations. Thank you.